Welcome to today's podcast. My name is Dr. Shivi Raya and I am a GP who today will be discussing preventative health issues to empower you to live to your healthiest potential. I'm excited to share with you about the various topics that affect one's physical and emotional health. So sit back, relax, contemplate, and engage in these podcasts to bring about the best health for you. Hi everyone. Today I wanted to talk to you about the Beauty and the Beast story. Now you might be wondering why I'm talking to you about this, but just go with me on this because I actually do have an intention that I think we might be able to see through. So remember the story Beauty and the Beast, and from my vague memory of the story, Beauty meets the Beast who kind of forces her to stay with him because her father picked a rose from the garden that he wasn't supposed to, and it was the Beast's garden, and as part of the punishment or the exchange, Beauty had to go and stay with the Beast. And the Beast was actually a prince in disguise who, because of some sort of spell, was now very beastly. But even despite his beastliness, he was actually really kind to Beauty. And eventually he lets her go. And once he lets her go, she comes back because she realizes that she's missing him, and he is just looking so lonely and pining away to the point of almost death. And she realizes that she actually does love him. And then the spell gets broken and he transforms back into his true self, which is the prince. And, you know, they get married and live happily ever after, so to speak. Now, of course, this is just a story, but I really wanted to see if we could delve a little bit further into the psychology of it a little bit more in a fun way. And I was thinking each and every one of us, myself included, has a beauty and a beast inside of us. So the beauty is referring to all the beautiful qualities, you know, truth, love, kindness, joy, sharing qualities, and so on and so forth. And the beast in us may sometimes have unfairly been termed beastly. And these are the emotions of hatred or jealousy. And so often even emotions have been termed beastly if they don't fit the norm of society. So, you know, when you are expressing anger or expressing disgust or, you know, things that are not deemed to be right by society, these could be termed as beastly expressions of things that are ideally not accepted either by society or even by ourselves. But if you take the story of Beauty and the Beast became a beast because of this spell that he was under. And I can't remember the exact details, but I'm not sure if he didn't give a witch something and the witch then transformed him into a beast because he was being selfish. And so until he experienced true love, he was never going to be transformed back into his princeliness. And often when we are experiencing all of these different feelings and emotions of sadness, anger, upsetness, annoyance, jealousy, and so on and so forth, and when we experience them, because we may inadvertently term them as beastly qualities, we may try and shut these qualities down or pretend they don't exist, or even project it onto other people and say, well, look, they're being an awful person, aren't they? Or they're doing this or doing that. And there's so much judgment of others as well as of ourselves. And there's a complete lack of acceptance of whatever we're feeling in the moment. And the amazing part of the story of Beauty and the Beast is once Beauty gets over her initial fright of the beast and she sees that he's actually kind of a decent person, she loses her fear of his beastliness. And I wonder what our lives would be like if we lost our fear of our own beastly qualities. So when we're feeling angry or sad or upset or annoyed or irritated or jealous or any kind of emotion really, if we just stopped looking at it as a beastly quality, but just accepted it for it being there in that moment, and if we were just willing to accept all of those qualities as being there in the moment, then I think that just the sheer acceptance of those qualities then stops us from seeing those qualities as a beast. And when we have compassion for those qualities and really love ourselves through those qualities. So for instance, if I am feeling really sad or upset or angry, if I can create a space inside of myself to accept those qualities and have the utmost of compassion and kindness and care for myself, and almost give all of those qualities a big, huge hug and say, yes, it's totally okay that you're here at the moment and I'm willing to accept you for your presence here. Then something magical actually transforms in that moment, because we're not pushing so hard to try and get this beastly quality, so-called beastly quality out. And we're actually sitting with this quality. So we're not expressing it until we've completely sat with this quality. Then in that moment, we are able to see the true jewel shining behind that quality. So if we are upset about something, then we can see what the unexpressed desire or need behind that quality is. Or if we are jealous about someone, then we can see what our unexpressed desire and need for our own soul is. If we're angry about our boundaries being crossed, then we can see how we may have a mask inside of us that is yearning to be broken, a people-pleasing mask or a perfectionist mask or anything like that. And can we hold ourselves in a space where if we were to speak our truth and the world was going to reject us, that we could still hold ourselves in that space of kindness and compassion and care. And when we give ourselves this level of compassion and kindness and genuinely accept ourselves for who we truly are, just like beauty truly accepted the beast and really truly cared for the beast exactly the way he was, with no desire at all to change him in any way, shape, or form. And she really had the utmost of compassion for him when she rushed back after visiting her father's house. Can we have that level of compassion and kindness towards ourselves? Can we truly, truly have that level of compassion and kindness? And then as we do that, then the so-called beastliness or the beastly quality or the beastly messenger dissipates. And behind that is where we get to see the true treasure of who we are. And so beauty and the beast, they're not two external things. They're actually the two sides within ourselves. The beauty inside of us and the beast inside of us. And there's no real separation. The illusion or the spell was actually thinking that beauty was separate and the beast was separate. There was actually no beauty and the beast. It was that they were actually one. They came together as one in a deep sense of connection and a deep sense of joy when they fully accepted, acknowledged, and embraced each other. So for me, my journey in my own life, and it is a ongoing journey, an ongoing upward spiraling journey where I am really trying to create this place of compassion and kindness for myself, no matter what feeling or emotion I am experiencing, where I can truly, truly embrace myself in all aspects, in however ways, however I want to show up. so that when I am speaking, I am able to come from a place of true, genuine action as opposed to reaction. And I'm human, I'm a mere mortal myself, and so of course that does not happen, and many times in the day that does not happen, but lots of times in the day it does happen as well. And so I think that's the whole process of being compassionate with all those times that we feel like we need to express those so-called beastly emotions, because they're not. The beast was never truly a beast. And so similarly, those qualities are not actually beastly qualities. They're just an expression of unmet needs, of an unexpressed truth. And I just wanted to share my take on it because I was listening to the instrumental of Beauty and the Beast, and I just felt very inspired by the music, and I really wanted to share that with you. So I hope you enjoy my take on it. And remember, there isn't a beauty and there isn't a beast. There's just this true sense of connected joyfulness inside of you. Thanks for listening, and I will look forward to sharing my thoughts on the next podcast. Thank you for listening to this podcast. Keep being radiantly healthy, and I will join you for the next podcast in a fortnight.